During the crisis, exploration dropped, especially in Norway. You're now saying that you'll be able to resume exploration activities in the second half of the year. When will that start specifically and where?
Yes, good morning. As you said, we're going to resume exploration on the fourth quarter, and the main focus will be on the Barents Sea towards the southern Barents Sea towards the north, where we have already a discovery, and we follow up from that discovery, and we have several trends. So we push back some of our exploration through obviously the COVID crisis, but we are now back. During the fourth quarter, it will be a very, very busy quarter again.
Yeah, so talk a little bit more about the outlook for the rest of the year and in terms of the recovery.
Yeah, well, for us, obviously, it's always been very important. We've been saying that all along, that you have to be in this time of crisis, you have to be very resilient, and that means being very efficient, having, strong capital discipline. And I think we've seen on this quarter again that despite the fact that we average about $25 in realized oil price in sale, we generated free cash flow. And we also posted record low operating cost at below $2.8 per barrel. So I think, of course, it's been very important to be resilient and to be very efficient, and this has been proven very profitable to us. Now, going forward, we will continue that strategy. Of course, there are still uncertainties in the world. COVID, is still here with us, and will still have an impact on the economies and in demand. So it's something that we are very focused on.
Yeah, I want to ask as well about the fact that lawmakers earlier this year agreed on what you could argue is quite a generous oil tax package. I mean, it has obviously had some fierce criticism from the industry because of provisions that could increase the tax burden over time, have little effect on the profitability of projects. You report that as much as 8 projects might be accelerated due to the tax package. What projects are we talking about, and what will happen if the tax package doesn't go through Parliament?
No, the tax package has been approved, so it's in effect, and as you said, they had a benefit in terms of, particularly, it improved your liquidity in the short term, 2020, 2021. But even more important, it improved the economics and the rate of returns of projects if you can submit a plan of development pre-2022. And I think it was a very smart move from the Norwegian government, because it helped to start again activities and employ people and generate new projects. I think in parallel you have to realize that at the same time the Norwegian government has implemented a curtailment in production, so all producing fields had to reduce their production. So I think it's a give and take, but overall I think it's been a very clever move by the Norwegian government.
Yeah, talk to me about the outlook for the oil price, Alex. Do you think the market will be able to absorb the extra oil supply from OPEC+?
I think we obviously had some dramatic timing in April, where we saw this clearly an oversupply and demand falling to record low. I think it was the biggest fall since the Second World War in demand. I think it's fair to say that now OPEC Plus has done a good job, and there's discipline among the different parties, and now we have certainly a much more balanced market. The future really depends a little bit of how the economies in the world will start again, how COVID will evolve, and clearly it will take time for demand to go back. I'm thinking just about the airline business, which will take years and years to go back to the pre-COVID level. But I do think right now we see a relatively stable market, where the oil price is about $40 plus, and relatively balanced supply-demand at this moment.